Hey, what's going on? It's Charles from Become the Authority. This is a quick one. This is how to attract high quality leads for your construction supply business, all with one marketing funnel. Now, this was an interesting one to go into. I've been bumping into a lot of supply companies lately, and they're like, Charles, these systems sound interesting, but how can I actually use them in a business like mine? So, while we go into that, first, we're just going to cover a quick agenda, right? I'm going to touch on who we are. I'm going to get into what actually makes a successful marketing campaign. I'm going to talk a little bit about how it works. And then we can talk about should you work with us. And if you've got any questions, I'll give you some information on how you can contact me, okay? So, to get into it, Become the Authority is a digital marketing artificial intelligence agency. And what that means is that we're going to solve two major problems for businesses like yours. The first problem we're going to solve is speed to lead, okay? It pays to be first and strike when the iron is hot. Now, not contacting a new lead within 5 minutes of them coming in reduces the chances of getting the sale by 40%. Think about the last time that you got online and you were searching around for something, right? In 5 minutes, you can eat a snack, search through 1,000,001 different options for whatever it was you were looking for, and then just forget about the whole thing. Or if you happen to keep searching and you find a company that responds quickly and hits you up right there in that moment, then you're able to say, wow, I'm going to go ahead and continue with this project because you had someone that struck while the iron was hot. So you need to be focused on capturing that emotion in the moment, right? Our system's going to allow you to respond to interested prospects instantly, no matter what time of day it is. Now, follow up, okay? Generating leads online, generating leads as a whole can just be expensive, right? They're even more expensive if there's no system to actually nurture and convert those leads over time. I mean, really think about it. How much time do you have to actually stop what you're doing and attempt follow-up calls, 20 or 30 follow-up calls per day from people who never answered the phone? How often are you actually re-engaging your customers or old leads? Our system is actually going to automate the nurture and follow-up sequence so that every lead you generate is worked until a yes or a no is given. So those are the two problems we solve. And before I get into how we solve them, let's touch on what actually makes for a good marketing campaign, right? So what goes into a good marketing campaign is offer, speed, and follow-up, right? By creating a consistent and targeted campaign, you're actually going to guarantee that each lead you generate is going to be followed up with effectively. So what does that mean, right? Well, first, let's start with the offer. All of marketing is going to start with some form of offer. It's not about how you're marketing, right? It's about what you're marketing. So whether you're on Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever it is, you still have to have a good offer in place in order to make sure that you are going to drive sales to your business. So the best offers are structured like conversation starters, okay? So it should be designed to create some sort of conversation. So you're going to ask a direct question that demands an answer. So let's look at an example here. Let's say that you were sending out a series of text campaigns to your list of real estate investors, right? You guys are a construction supply company. You work with a lot of real estate investors who are consistently looking to upgrade these homes and do these fix and flips, and they need supplies, right? So it typically, and this is if there's even anything going out in the first place, typically when these businesses reach out to investors, they're like, hey, it's ABC Supply. We've got a special on cabinets for the rest of this month. Give us a call to lock in your savings, right? Now, of course, that is an offer, but it's very generic. It's not personalized. And if you have their phone number, that would also assume that you have some degree of information about them. And if you have the right sort of system, you can personalize this message, right? So it could look a little something like this, where it says, "Hey, John, it's Tim over at ABC Supply. You pick up any new properties lately? We've got a special going on cabinets, flooring, and a couple other things for the next few days. Want to jump on a call later while the deal's going?" So that acknowledges that they are an investor. It has a more personal tone to it, so it doesn't sound robotic. And you're still letting them know that there's a special on cabinets and flooring, right? But you're also pushing them to an immediate call to action, to where they're either going to say yes or no to hearing what you have to say and what your different offers are. And if you can get people on the phone, then you can ultimately sell them anything. It's just a matter of being able to start a conversation with them, right? So if you want more leads, you have to create better offers. Stronger offers backed by the right system is going to be a game changer for your business. Now, let's look at a quick math example, right? Let's say you have a list of 1,000 investors, and an average job for you is going to be worth $3,000, right? So if you've got your crappy offer that normally gets like a 0.2 conversion rate, that's 2 people, that's $6,000. That's not bad. That's nothing to be upset about, right? But if you were just to do a slightly better offer and get a 1% conversion rate, that would be 10 people, and that would be $30,000. So you've now 5x'd what you've done before. And if you had a strong offer that gets you to a 5% conversion rate, well, now you're at 50 people, and that's $150,000. So it's not about what you're saying, but how you actually say it. And that's one of the biggest things that people struggle with when it comes to marketing. Now, when you lock in the offer, then you're able to actually focus on the lead gen, because you've got your offer and now you've got all these different ways you can distribute it. You can go through ads, you can use text marketing, you can use email marketing, things like that. And it should look a little something like this, where you've got your ads generating interest, you've got some emails going out to a big list of people that'll generate some interest, you've got your text campaigns going out, as well as social media campaigns going out as well, just promoting your different services and everything like that. And it all points to the offer, right? And once we get to the offer, they're either going to say, yes, I'm interested in the offer, or they're going to say no. And in this case, we're going to say, okay, well, we're going to send them text messages, emails, we're going to retarget with them with ads, and we're going to keep posting social media content until those no's turn into yeses. And that's when we're going to continue with the project, okay? Now, the next part of what makes marketing work is going to be speed. Okay, you are 21 times more likely to book an appointment if you reply to an interested prospect within 5 minutes. And most businesses are managing their lead intake all wrong. Let's look at the way that it usually works, right? So typically what happens is, again, you've got those ads, you've got those emails, you've got the text messages, you've got social media, and everything's pointing to your offer. The people who say yes to your offer will fill out some sort of form or reply to you, whatever it might be. And typically, business owners don't have any sort of intake system, and about 30 minutes will pass by before anyone gets that lead and tries to establish some sort of contact. So they'll try to make the call later, nothing wrong with that, but then you get no answer. And a lot of business owners don't have a system beyond that. So the reality is that with no back-end system in place to manage these leads as they come in, you're going to lose a lot of interested people. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at an alternative. Now, here is where we add our different bits and pieces, right? Now, through the project, we see that the lead is going to come in at 12:01 p.m. Okay, they saw your offer and they decided to say yes at 12:01 p.m. What we'll be able to set up is a call trigger where it's going to reach out to you and let you know that there's a new lead, and you can press 1 to immediately establish a call with them. So once you press that 1 button, the client is going to receive a call from you, and you're able to reach out to them immediately and say, hey, I saw that you were interested in us, etc., etc. How can we help? Now, if for some reason it's outside of business hours, or you're just not able to answer the phone and immediately establish that voice contact with a person, that's fine, because what we're going to do is we'll send them a personalized text message as well as drop a pre-recorded voicemail on their phone that lets them know, hey, we're going to be reaching out to you within 24 hours. Or can you tell us more about your project, etc., right? As well as the text message, which is going to say, hey, can you let me know more information about your project? I'm really excited to work with you. I'm going to give you a call soon, right? So you're still able to engage with the prospect no matter what time they come in, and no matter what methodology they use, right? So whether it's going to be through text message, whether it's going to be through an automated voicemail, whether it's going to be through a personalized email, or we're immediately connecting the call, within 5 minutes, they are immediately having contact established with them, and that's going to increase your chances of making the sale, because you have to think about it. If you wait any longer than 5 minutes, you missed your best shot. You missed your best shot because now they're contacting another supplier, or maybe the desire to continue and proceed with actually doing this project or doing this remodel or something like that has now worn off. You know, they were reaching out, they were thinking that they wanted to do it, but after searching around, poking around, filling out a few forms and everything like that, the desire for it kind of went away, right? So if you wait any longer than 5 minutes, you're missing your best shot, and you don't want to do that, right? So how do you make sure that you follow up with every single brand new lead that you get within 5 minutes? How can you do that manually? Well, the real answer is that you don't. You just don't do it manually. You're going to need a system that manages all of these processes and systems, and it's going to make your team the fastest in your local market. All right. Now, the last thing that we're going to need here is a follow-up system. It is 5 times more expensive to generate a new lead than it is to reactivate an old one. Now, does that mean you shouldn't generate new leads? Absolutely not. We all need new leads, right? It just simply means that your older leads have to be reactivated at least once per month. That way you're maximizing every dime that you spend on ad spend, because you're trying to make sure that every lead gives you a yes or a no, right? The idea behind our follow-up system is based on the Pareto principle, where 80% of your business is actually going to come from 20% of your customers, and a good follow-up system is going to allow you to consistently capitalize on that business. So back to my fun diagram here, right? We've got the lead coming in at 12:01. And at 12:04, we set up that call trigger that connects you and the client together on a call, or they received a text message or an automated voicemail and conversed with a bot. But point is, once they answer and they set the appointment, and you go to the appointment, you're either going to get the order, and that's awesome, and you're going to be able to handle all their supply needs and everything like that, or you're not going to get the order, and then the question is, what happens from there? Well, what happens from there is that we need to put them into a never-ending client funnel. That's what I like to call it. So again, the lead comes in at 12:01. At 12:04, you reach out to them. You got them on the phone. You set the appointment. You went out there. You went over all of the different things that they're going to need in order to do their kitchen or bathroom. You priced out the cabinets. You did everything in between. And you sent them over an estimate. Now, if they decided to go with your estimate, that's awesome, cool, whatever. But if they don't decide to go with your estimate, what that means is now we need to place them into a follow up sequence where for the next few months, we're going to reach out to them periodically and ask them about their different service projects, what they're doing, how we can help. And the idea is that we want to get a yes or a no. We want to get a yes or a no because, number one, when we get that yes or we get that no, it allows us to remove people from mass email campaigns, and that's going to help with deliverability. But the other side is that, again, leads are expensive. So if you already spent maybe $50 to $100 to generate a lead, then why wouldn't you take the time to make sure that you're getting every dollar out of that lead, right? So by adding the additional nurture text messages and the additional nurture emails that consistently point people back to offers that you want to promote, eventually you're going to generate more yeses. And by generating more yeses, that's going to increase your revenue. And all you're doing is just making use of the leads that you've already generated, right? So that's the formula. Very simple. Offer plus speed plus follow-up is going to equal sales. And we specialize in installing these systems into your business. Now, should you work with us? That's the biggest question. Should you work with us? And the answer to that is, I really don't know. I don't know if you should work with us because every company is different. Every company is at a different point in their career. And in order to really assess if you think you should work with us, I want you to ask yourself this question is, does this sound like you? So question one is, are you ready to scale? Because you're tired of working off of referral and you actually want to own your own pipeline, right? Now you could also be wanting a premium all-in-one marketing experience. You've gotten a bunch of different social media managers, you've worked with lead generation teams, you've hired the random virtual assistants from the Philippines, and you know that all of that stuff didn't work because you needed a system that handled all of your marketing, not just bits and pieces of it, right? And here's one of the most important things is you can dedicate at least 10 hours per month to working together. If you can't dedicate at least 10 hours per month to working with us to craft these marketing campaigns that are personalized to you and represent your brand efficiently, then it would just be best if we didn't work together. We want to make sure that we're working with high quality people who are dedicated to the growth of their business as it relates to marketing, and they're all in. So if that does sound like you, we can go ahead and talk about it. There's going to be a link somewhere around here that's going to pop up at some point, and you can go ahead and book a call with me. We can go over it in more detail, but I'm looking forward to helping you out. I'm looking forward to helping you build out your different systems for this. And if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, you know how to get in contact with me. Have a good one. Peace.